Hello? Right, we should be live now, I think. Right. Yo. Hello. Can everyone hear me? How is everyone? How is everybody? Let me, yeah, okay, so the screen, you got the lo-fi, right? And we're here, we're live. I know I'm a little bit late, but we are here now. Let me just make an announcement on the Discord and then we will get straight into it. Yo, hello. Let's get some hellos in the chat. Let's get some hellos in the chat. Where are we? Yo, hey Laura, hey Dan, how you doing? We have had a Trump speech. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's just get right into it. I think we have had a Trump speech that we're currently on at the moment. Hey, Mr. Ali, Dan, good morning Laura. Hello everybody. Hello. Let's get into it, shall we? I think there's been a few good positions today. I think Bitcoin we were looking at on the Discord. Something along those lines. But it's been going quite nicely for the past couple hours. Hey, Stu. Right. Let's get into it. So, textbook stuff, right? Textbook stuff. Let's get straight into it. So, Forex actually very quickly. Let's just check that. President Trump is seeking immediate negotiations to acquire Greenland. Only the US can protect Greenland and develop it. This is why I am seeking immediate negotiations on acquiring Greenland. US buying Greenland would not be a threat to NATO. US treated very badly by NATO. Okay, so he's saying quite a lot, and he's still going. So, hope to sign bill on crypto soon. Congress working on crypto market structure. Trump attacks corporations buying houses. Signed order banning institutional home buyers. NATO wants help on Ukraine. We're going to. Ukraine is a bloodbath. I want to stop it. So he's speaking about everything, realistically, everything, and that's it. That is it. In terms of news, that is pretty much it. We don't really got anything else. 3 p.m. we do have some orange folder, so in about 24 minutes we have orange folder news. Other than that, nothing else. So what we can do is we can click through and look for something. I doubt we're going to be getting any accumulations right now because Trump is currently speaking, but we can still look and wait for something. And then, when he finishes talking, which will hopefully be soon, probably won't be, we can then go and, take a trade. This looks good. EuroCAD looks quite good, I will say. We had a nice accumulation here. I'm just going to draw this one. We've had a nice accumulation here with a fair value gap right here as well. I mean, the entry does look a bit mid, like it's not really the best entry, you know what I mean? Yeah. There is at least the AMD IFVG kind of thing going on. Setting a lot. Right, okay. Hey Dan. Hello everyone. Let's like up the stream if you haven't already. Gonna throw these on the on the Instagram now. Live as always on YouTube with the team. Click the link in the bio. Join the live right now. Right. Can you lighten your canvas a bit? I'll make it a bit light grey, yeah. I'll make it a lighter grey. That makes it harder, I think. Is that better? I think that's better. Or was that the same? Is anyone seeing anything at all? Is anyone seeing any trades? I can't see. I mean, USD CAD's consolidating. But other than that, gold, nothing here. I mean, it looks like it's pushing up. Oh wow. Oh wow, okay. Pushing up to $5,000 an ounce. Well, there's a few items there. JPY looks alright. But again, that'll be like quite a low risk to reward ratio. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. Crazy how much gold has gone up this year. Yeah, literally like it's it spent like what 5 years between 1.5 and 2 grand and then just shot straight up in like 3 years. Hey Elizabeth. Is this Discord announcement gone out? Yeah. Right. It's going to be very hard to catch a trade today. I think I might bring more regular streams back. And I think I might just go back to every day because I want to make sure we're taking proper trades. Hey Terry. That's the high tuck. GBP New Zealand. But there's no fair value gap here. Like we've had this, but no fair value gap there. Hasn't took highs yet on GU. This is going to be very difficult to trade. Oh no. Is anyone seeing anything? Turn this down a little bit. Yeah, is anyone seeing anything? If you're seeing something, give us a shout, because right now we're just kind of waiting for Trump to finish speaking. Let me see if I can get the stream up for that.
All of the places, the grasses are cut and replaced with new grass in many cases. So it's all going to happen in the spring. But Washington and D.C. is beautiful again, and it's safe. New restaurants are opening up. They're all closing. Now you can't get into a restaurant. Restaurants in Washington, D.C. are all opening. Memphis also. Memphis, Tennessee. New Orleans, Louisiana. We're there for 3 weeks. We've cut the crime down by 64%. Within another month, we'll have virtually no crime there. We can do that all over. We're going to help the people in California. We want to have no crime. I know Gavin was here. I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy. And we're going to, if he needed it, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd love to see. We did help them a lot in Los Angeles, a lot with the early,
put them everywhere for now.
Early in my term when they had some problems. But we would love to do it. I will say this, if I were a Democrat governor or whatever, I would call up Trump. I'd say, come on in, make us look good. Because we're cutting crime down to nothing. And we're taking people out, career criminals who are only going to do bad things, and we're bringing them back to their countries. But where we've done it, it's been amazing. And we have a capacity to do it at much greater levels. We're cutting illegal aliens off welfare and other government benefits, and I have directed that starting immediately, there will be no more payments to sanctuary cities, because they are really just sanctuaries for criminals. They're really protecting criminals, and those are the ones we have to get out of the country: murderers, drug dealers.
See, this right here.
Mentally insane.
This is why you don't want to take, like, this IFVG trade right here. A lot of people would enter here, right? And there's a few things wrong with this. So take profit like the other side of the range, whatever. But the first thing you'll probably notice is this, right? Which is pretty textbook, right? You know, you're not going to enter there because of this. You wait for this one, right? But also, on the 5 minute, if we just get rid of this, we have a fair value gap that is forming right now as well. And this right here. So because of this accumulation, because we've got AMD here, we'd really want an IFVG on the 5 too. So it's really a 5 minute kind of trade that you'd want to take, just like this, that also happens to align on the 1 minute. So either wait for this to get inversed, or formed first and then inversed, or this one to get inversed, not just this 1 minute fair value gap right here, right?
They won't be there long. We've cut down with the hitting of the boats that are loaded up with drugs, including submarines. Can you believe they actually buy small, they call mini subs, very fast. They're meant for drugs. We've knocked out 2 of them. The Democrats say they were fishing. You have ruined somebody's fishing weekend. I would say a submarine is not a fishing boat. You don't fish. But we've knocked down drugs by water, the oceans, the sea.
If we're going to take a trade on this, first we need to check the bias.
Think of that.
Like, first we need to make sure the bias is bearish anyway, but the actual entry, like, you can't just take a 1 minute IFVG. And I know this might sound pretty basic just saying that to you guys, but I'm sure there's a few people here who probably might have not known that or would have missed. Even just like this one right here. But yeah. What is the bias? Technical close. So it's bearish on the daily. 4 hour group of highs, realistically it'll be this one, but I mean, you could argue this is bearish. The 1 hour is obviously bearish. So the bias is bearish. But what we'd want to see is that 1 minute obviously get inversed pretty quickly, but then continue to like inverse this one. And if we inverse the 5, but then again, there's another one right here. So that exact same thing that we were talking about on the 1 minute, where there's an IFVG, but we would enter on the other one. You'd have to apply that to this time frame and enter down here, which is like negative risk to reward ratio. It just makes it completely pointless. And then again, there's another one right here. So what you'd have to do, if you really want to be risky, only because this is on the higher time frames. So if this was on the 1 minute, it'd be so pointless. But you could technically, if you want to just risk the commission or the spread of the trade, what you could do is just enter the trade anyway, and then just move to break even when we mitigate this. Or don't even move to break even, just hold it and pray. But with the way it's going, based on Trump's speech, it's not looking like it's going to reverse. And if it does reverse, it's probably
that our ancestors could scarcely have. I mean, they couldn't have even dreamt some of the things that we see today. And so rapidly they're produced. I mean, AI, 2 years ago, nobody ever heard of the term, and now everybody's talking about it. And it can have some very good purpose. It could also have some dangerous purpose. And for that, we have to watch out. But some tremendous things are happening because of it. And we're leading by so much. We're doing so well. But opportunities that are bigger and grander than ever before in human history are right before us.
Pray. I know a few people that still do that
pioneers
today.
In this room. Many of you in this room are true pioneers. You're truly brilliant people. Just your ability to get a ticket is brilliant because you have about 50 people for every seat. I don't know what. That's Larry. Everything Larry touches turns to gold. He made this very successful. But you're in this room, and some of you are the greatest leaders anywhere in the world. You're the greatest brains anywhere in the world. And the future is unlimited, and to a large part because of you. And we have to protect you, and we have to cherish you. I always say we have to cherish our brilliant people because there aren't many of them. So together with confidence, boldness, and persistence, let us lift up our people, grow our economies, defend our shared destiny, and build a future for our citizens that is more ambitious, more exciting, more inspiring, and greater than the world has ever seen. We're in a position to do things that nobody else has ever even thought of before. And many of the people in this room are the ones that are doing it, and I want to congratulate you, and I'm with you all the way. You can do things that nobody else can even think about. So I congratulate you on your tremendous success. And the United States is back, bigger, stronger, better than ever before. And I'll see you around. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Is that him done now?
Thank you.
This was supposed to be a nice fire chat, Mr. President.
Yes, good. I got set up now. I did know.
You made a job
it's
for
delayed.
a moderator.
It's so annoying.
Really easy. Thank you, Mr. President. A few follow-up questions, if it's okay. Sure. I don't think I should start with Greenland, maybe. I'll start with the economy. The U.S. economy is doing really well. But how to sustain this growth moving forward? Because there's always a recession looming around the corner.
So now they're asking him questions.
The one thing about economies and recessions is sometimes you get hit unexpectedly and there's nothing you can do about it. All brilliant people, but there's nothing. One example was COVID. We had an economy going at levels like nobody had ever seen my first 2.5, 3 years. And then I heard the word pandemic, not COVID. They came up with that name over a period of time. We won't get into that. But I heard the word pandemic. And I had a poll come out that was so strong just prior to that. And I was with the two best pollsters, McLaughlin and Fabrizio. And they said, sir, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if they came back and ran as president and vice president, they couldn't beat you. And then what happened is the following day, I was told to stay tuned because there's something really bad happening in China. There are bodies laying all over Wuhan, right around that certain building that we talk about. I always said it came from Wuhan. It did come from Wuhan. And there were body bags. We saw it by satellite. And they said there are strange things happening in China. And so it began.
He does these things, doesn't he? He loops. I think he calls them loops.
I don't think we got the credit we deserve.
Well, I haven't really, but I'm sure a lot of people have forgotten what the original question was. No one even asked him about China or COVID.
A lot of people. But sometimes you get hit with things, nothing you can do.
Where he loops and threads, and then he'll talk about this. He'll go on a tangent, and then he'll come back and close it, answering the question.
It was higher than it was previous to the COVID coming up, and I called it a great achievement. But things happen, bad things happen. The things that we can stop are wars if we're smart. That we can stop. Those are a matter of being intelligent and having intelligent people on the other side, because wars are the worst of all. Wars are worse than anything. But we can stop wars because that's sort of up to us. But things like dust flying in the air, wherever COVID comes from or whatever comes, sometimes you have to be a little bit lucky. But we are poised to have an economy like no other, not only in this country, but anywhere. And you know, when you hear the kind of numbers that I can tell you that Scott Bessent was with me the other day, and he's looking at numbers. He said, I can't. And that's all he's done his whole life, pretty much your whole life. Scott, you weren't going to be a football player, I don't think. Scott was not that great at football, but he was always good at numbers, right? And he was looking at numbers. He said, I've never seen anything like this. We're poised to do things that no other country's ever done. And, you know, luck, I hate to say it, but we need a little luck. We don't want to get hit by something that nobody could have thought. Whoever thought we were going to hit by a pandemic? You know, when I heard the word pandemic, I said, oh, that's an ancient problem. World War I, they lost 100 million people. It actually ended World War I. A lot of people don't know. The Spanish flu in World War I ended the war because all the soldiers were sick. The soldiers were so sick on both sides, and that war was raging, and they were all dying from the Spanish flu. They were sick as dogs. They couldn't fight. So, you know, you don't know how that would have turned out. But so we do, I mean, subject to that, and I always have to put a caveat in for it, but we're poised to have the greatest growth of any large country, I think any country that there's been. When you look at what's happening in the United States, it's really amazing.
There's the
Thank you.
back
one
into
thing
actually answering the question.
Maybe keeps you up at night, I know you don't sleep that much anyway, Mr. President, is the debt. The U.S. debt is high, is now the biggest expenditure on your budget. How to get out of that impasse?
Well, the big thing is growth. I mean, growth is the way. If we grow like this, we go from having at $37 trillion, we go from having high debt to low debt. But we also are cutting expenses, you know, the old-fashioned way. We have extraordinary growth. I think we're going to be growing our way out. I think we're going to be paying off debt. We're taking in tremendous money from tariffs fairly. And again, I'm using them judiciously. You know, Switzerland's a case study. I could have gotten much more. I could have asked for much more. But we're using them judiciously. But I think growth, most importantly, and then cutting costs. Now, if you take a look at Minnesota, $19 billion in fraud and other things. People going to airports, they came into the country, they don't have 10 cents, and they're leaving with hundreds of thousands of cash in their bags. When we get to that, and our DOJ, Pam, and Todd, and all the people that work over there, and all of the people that work in here, I can tell you, Scott Bessent is working on that. It's a priority, right? You have your whole team. We're in there looking for where this money is coming from, how much it is. It could be more than $19 billion. Can you believe that? That's just one state. If we were able to cut out 50% of the fraud, 50%, and we should be able to do better than that, we would have a balanced budget without having to talk about even growth. So we have a lot of options, but we're working very hard on that. That's a big deal. It's not just the the protests, the fake protests done by agitators and, you know, professional insurrectionists. That's what they are. They're professional troublemakers. But we are looking very strong at the money.
What do you think of Geo?
In Minnesota and other places.
Oh, there we are.
I think, Mr. President, also the $500 billion invested in artificial intelligence and the frontier technologies last year also were driving growth exponentially in the US.
Maybe this, but there's so many fair value gaps it just becomes pointless.
Massive. I mean, Mark
Well, the 1
Zuckerberg
minute.
showed me a plant where he put it over a map of Manhattan, and it was basically the
What's the
size of
bias?
Manhattan. This is not. I said, you got to be kidding. It's a plant that was miles long, miles wide, very high. I don't think it was high like the Empire State Building, but it was high. And it literally covered most of the island of Manhattan. That's called a big plant. And, you know, when I heard they're going to spend $50 billion building, and I said, what, you know, if you spend $50 million, you can build a nice little shopping center. If you spend $500 million, you can build a good shopping center. But how do you spend $50 billion? When I looked at this thing, I said, you think you'll be able to do it for that? It's amazing when, you know, some of the plants that I see, and I see them all. And again, so big is we're letting them build their own electric generation. This way we have no problem. And otherwise they'd be complaining. There'd be nobody able to be, you know, we have an old grid system. And not only that, they're going to sell at a very cheap price the excess electricity that they create back into our grid. So that'll solve some problems for certain states that don't have enough electricity.
We also know that on the AI, there is fierce competition between the US as the largest economy in the world, 27% of the global GDP and 5% of the global population, not doing that badly, and China. And we know that that competition is very tough on AI. I know you're heading to a state visit to China in April. How do you see the US-China relationship moving forward? Are you able to combine this tough competition with also collaboration?
So I've always had a very good relationship with President Xi and with President Putin. Talk about, you know, the larger powers. But I've always had a very good relationship with President Xi of China. He's an incredible man.
EU is currently moving
what he's done is
accumulation. We
He's
can
highly
expect to move
respected by everybody.
orange
And
folder.
I do now. I mean, now I have good. It was very severely interrupted by COVID. I used to call it the China virus, but he said, do you think you could use a different name? And I decided to do that.
What time frame are you seeing this accumulation on? The 1 minute?
I would do that, and they
You're
were.
a true diplomat, huh?
I became a diplomat for the first time. Well, you know who taught me that? Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio. He said, let me teach you about diplomacy. Hey, any guy that gets approved by 100% of the votes, think of it, he got liberal Democrats and radical right Republicans to approve him. He's the only one. The next one was like lost 45 votes, right? But he got all 100 votes voting for him. And at first I wasn't happy about it. I said, wait a minute, I don't like that. And now it turns out that the Democrats probably wish they didn't do that. And Marco has been fantastic. Marco, stand up, please. You have done a great job as Secretary of State. He's going to go down as the best Secretary of State. And Scott, and we have Susie, who's the first female Chief of Staff, and she's the best Chief of Staff, too. And I see Howard Lutnick, who I know spoke. And Howard's fantastic. Some of the deals we're doing are great. And I want to pay particular attention because we have Chris. And Chris, you got up and spoke, I think. He's the #1 oil man in the world because I was going to put Doug
I would
Burgum,
not say
who's
that's an
fantastic.
accumulation.
I don't know if Doug's here. Is Doug here? Doug Burgum is fantastic. He said, sir, there's one man better than me.
Maybe a few
And
more
he
candles.
introduced
If we
me
give it
to
a few more
Chris,
candles,
and he turns
maybe.
out to be. So we're drilling more
On the
oil
1
and gas
minute,
now than we
we
ever
did have
by
an accumulation.
almost double. Is that right, Chris?
Then we have the
And on top of
manipulation,
it,
then the
We
distribution.
got a lot coming out of Venezuela. So, anyway,
So the 1
we're
minute
doing-
should
we're
go
doing
sideways
great. The
as well. I
country's
think
just
if we
doing
get a
great.
bit
We have
more,
great
a few more
people. Thank you.
candles on
And I see other
the
people. We have Steve Whitcuff, we have Jared.
on this price
I
range,
got
we
so
should
many people. I'm
then
in
maybe
trouble
form a
because
better
when I go back,
accumulation.
they're gonna be people-
Right now,
people
this
with
isn't
long
really
faces,
one.
sir.
It's
You're
more
doing
just
it
a
big. I
retracement
got
to this
so
fair
many
value gap
people.
right here.
And we have a lot of the greatest people anywhere in the world. I know them all. So I won't continue because we'd be here all day.
Thank you, Mr. President. We also know that you're a deal maker, and then maybe coming back to Greenland and Ukraine.
Oh dear.
What kind of deal
This is the big
in
news
the
now.
end do you see between the U.S. And Denmark? Because, you know, I guess you see it now as a negotiation going on, or?
Well, it's costing Denmark hundreds of millions a year to run it. And Denmark's a small country and wonderful people. But, you know, it's very expensive. It's a very big piece of ice. And it's very important. I mean, I don't want to repeat the speech, but it's very important that we use that for national and international security. That can create a power that will make it impossible for the bad guys to do anything against the perceived good ones. And it's a great block for Europe, just like, you know, Denmark was supposed to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. They didn't spend the money. They didn't spend anything almost. And we'll see what happens. I just say this. NATO has treated the United States of America very unfairly. We never asked for anything. We never got anything. We actually took care of the needs of NATO for years and years, which I felt was always unfair. So I got NATO to pay because they're rich countries. But I think it's time that NATO step up. We're helping them with Ukraine. Without us, I think Putin would have gone all the way. I think we have it. I think that could have been a World War III, if you want to know the truth. If Kamala was elected, or Joe, any one of those, you know, those thinkers, I think you could have ended up in World War III. And I will say Steve Witkoff has been dealing incredibly with. But we're not going to have World War III. We want to get it stopped, but we're not going to have World War III.
I know this is a slow stream, guys.
I think that could have evolved into World
you will
War
come to
III.
find,
It was a very,
you know,
bad
patience in this
situation.
game
And it
is
still
what pays.
But it's not that kind of bad. It's bad because so many young
Like
people
up
are
the
being
stream
killed.
if you agree.
How close do you think there is on an agreement on Ukraine? I had the pleasure of speaking with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner yesterday. I know they're working hard on it. I know that they're also traveling now. Do you see this very close or still?
Well, I hate to say it. I thought that was going to be so. I settled 8 wars plus. And I thought that was going to be one of my easier ones. Not the easiest. Some I settled in a matter of hours because I'm good at that stuff. You know, the United Nations should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing it, but it doesn't matter. It's got to get done, saving a lot of lives. We're saving millions of lives. With Ukraine, Russia, there's tremendous hatred between President Zelensky and President Putin. That's not good. That's not good for settlements. We know from dealing. There's abnormal hatred. With that being said, I think Russia wants to make a deal. I think Ukraine wants to make a deal. And we're going to try getting a deal done. We're getting, I think, Steve, I think I can say that we're reasonably close. But what happens is oftentimes we'll have a deal with Russia. Russia's set, and President Zelensky will not do it. You saw that when he was in the Oval Office. I was not happy. And then we'll have President Zelensky wants to make a deal, and Putin doesn't want to make the deal. It's a very difficult balance, and it's big time, and it's
Always
it
fun,
is,
even if there's
you
no
know, to
setup.
use a word, it's a bloodbath.
It is
It's
true.
horrible what's happening.
They'll enjoy these streams.
It's a drone war. The drones are killing, you know, thousands of people a week. Thousands. We have to get it stopped. So I believe they're at a point now. I'm going to meet with President Zelensky later today. I believe they're at a point now where they can come together and get a deal done. And if they don't, they're stupid. That goes for both of them. And I know they're not stupid. But if they don't get this done, they are stupid. So I don't want to insult anyone, but you got to get this deal done. Too many people are dying. It's not worth it.
President Sisi is sitting on the first row here. He spoke earlier today and also complimented you on the Gaza deal. I think there will be a signing tomorrow. Of course, there are different views on this, but how important do you think this signing is on the Board of Peace? And do you think this is going to sustain? Do you think we now will see Gaza reconstructed and the billions of US dollars invested?
I do. I mean, I think we have peace in the Middle East. There are some little situations like Hamas and Hamas has agreed to give up their weapons. Now, you know, they were born with a weapon in their hand, so it's not easy to do. When they were born with a rifle in their hand. It's not an easy thing for them, but that's what they agreed to. They've got to do it. And we're going to know, Jared, over the next 2 or 3 days, certainly over the next 3 weeks, whether or not they're going to do it. If they don't do it, they'll be blown away very quickly. They'll be blown away. You know, we have 59 countries that are part of that whole peace deal. And some of those countries aren't even they're near the Middle East, but they're not in the Middle East traditionally. And they want to come in and take out Hamas. They want to come in. They want to do whatever they can. There's a problem with Hezbollah in Lebanon, and we'll see what happens there, but that's a problem. But there are these little flames, but there's peace in the Middle East. Now, had we not gone in and knocked out with those big, beautiful, we just ordered 25 brand new ones, the latest and the greatest, the B-2 bomber. Think of them, they went in there at 2 o'clock in the morning with no moon, no light, no nothing, and every single one of those massive bombs hit its target, 100,000-pound bombs hit its target, every one of them. And then on top of it, from a submarine 300 miles away, we hit the sites with Tomahawks, which is an unbelievable weapon. So, you know, we did our job. If we didn't do that, you would have never had peace in the Middle East. And the countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar could never have, and others could never have signed anything because you would have had this dark cloud, and the dark cloud was Iran with nuclear. Iran would, if we didn't take them out, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 months. They were very close to having the nuclear weapon, and we hit them hard. And it was a total obliteration. If they may try again, but they're going to have to try from a different area because that area was obliterated. Incredible thing we did. And because we did that, we were able to make peace. If we didn't do that, I would say, Jared and Steve, if we didn't do that, there was no chance of making peace because the countries I just named and other countries could have never signed off. They were afraid. They were afraid. We had a bully. The bully was Iran, the bully of the Middle East. They used to call it for years. They were the bully of the Middle East. They're not the bully of the Middle East anymore.
Mr. President, I know you even had to change a plane last night, so I guess you didn't have much sleep, but I think but your energy is still there. I know you have several bilateral meetings. I know you're also hosting a reception. So thank you so much for coming back to Davos. Thank you so much. It's highly appreciated.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Thank you.
Oh, it's the press now, isn't it? Okay. Right. The speech is finished. About time. I was seeing this, but obviously the fundamentals. What is the bias? Bullish on the 4-hour. Bullish on the daily. Bullish on the 1 hour slightly. Right. Okay. Finally, we can trade again. Right. Like up the stream, guys. Come on. He's done. He's done. Finally, he's done. This is not a setup we can take, so we're going to move on from this one. Let me put the Spotify back on. Right then. USD CAD's still accumulating. I think EU, I think we were looking at before as well, wasn't we? Okay. So EU respected that. Looks like it's trying to inverse it now. I mean, I'd say that's alright. See how it goes. It does look a lot better now, Mr. Ali. It looks a lot stronger now for an accumulation. Bitcoin looks good. What's the bias on Bitcoin? I have a feeling it. Okay, yeah. Small fair value up here, which it respected. Hasn't inversed really yet. What about the daily? Daily's bullish, and the 1 hour is bearish. So technically it's bearish. Right, okay. Okay. Setting a alert for that one. Gold's chilling. USDJPY. It's going to be hard to trade today, I think. Just like Bitcoin, that'll be a hard one. USD Swiss franc. Maybe if we swept this, something like this. Right, see how easy it is now. Now he's done speaking, we can just focus on setups. It's beautiful. GU, not really much going on here. This is quite higher time frame stuff, this. What about GJ? GJ is chilling. Right, okay, I think this is probably our best bet, but even this is pretty risky to trade. That's the only one I'm seeing. I think there's USDJPY as well, like, but I think there's one more, wasn't there? USD Swiss franc, sorry. Okay, this doesn't look good. Small fair value up here. Is anyone seeing anything? Is anyone seeing anything else? Like up the stream if you haven't already, guys. I know this is a pretty slow stream, but I still wanted to be here. You know what I mean? I could have just not done one and said, yeah, no point Trump speaking. But I wanted to come on here and talk with you. You know what I mean? Is anyone seeing anything at all? Nah. Pretty dead, isn't it? Maybe this. What's the bias? The bias is bearish. Nothing other than what you're looking at. Alright. Alright, sound. I think what we're gonna have to do, guys, is probably call it a day here. There's literally no point. What I might do, I'm aware, you know, like we picked up like one trade so far on stream this year. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start looking into streaming a bit more regularly again, back to like 5 days a week instead of just the 2. So we're probably going to leave it here, but I am going to be moving. There are going to be more streams. Also, for anyone who actually is in the course and stuff, you might know like the best time to trade this exact strategy is typically around like 11 a.m. for Forex, like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So London streams is going to be coming very soon. We're also going to be doing some group trading as well. So keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, like the stream if you haven't already, and I'll see you all on Monday's stream. Thank you guys, and have a good rest of your day. I know it's been a pretty slow stream, but still, as I said, patience is the main thing. You know, you've got to have patience in this game, or you're not really going to get far. So we've got patience, you know, we've practiced our discipline, we've seen a couple setups and stuff, nothing taken live, so we're chilling, and I'll see you all